Oh, it's hot. And it's 1 a.m. and turn on the AC for a few minutes to get the humidity and heat down a little bit. So oof, and make attempt number 2 at sleeping, and hopefully fall asleep. But yeah. Virtual me, future me. What up? I am tired and I am sleepy. I just wanted to say, yeah. Something that I was thinking. When I'm sleepy and tired, thoughts come slower, words come slower. So, forgive me. Yes, Trump's a problem, and the whole impeaching him won't really solve much, because then we got to deal with Vance and impeach him, and then got to deal with the Speaker of the House, and so the problem isn't really that, and the problem isn't even really, because because then I think really the problem is the Republican voting base. And I say that because there seems to be a common sentiment among Republicans of, well, at least he ain't a Democrat. And I hear that among a lot of YouTubers that are people that are Democrats that grow up in the South, and they're like, well, I hear this growing up. Well, at least he ain't a Democrat, and it's like, that's a really bad reason to vote for a Republican. It's not a bad reason to vote for a Democrat if you're a poor person. I can understand voting for a Republican. Again, if you're rich, it's probably the right reason to vote for a Republican if you're rich, because they will support your interests. Go by the maxim, the only reason to vote for a Republican is if you're rich or dumb. But yeah, gotta start using a little bit of discretion, or preferably a bit of discretion with your vote, because there just really aren't. I haven't in my entire life heard of one Republican that I can think of that had a sensible outlook on life that would have had any kind of good like policies that would help working class or poor people. They just don't have the conservative mentality. Just doesn't work for poor people. Blanket statement. I mean, it doesn't work for poor people. A lot of Democratic Party policies aren't optimum for poor people, but they definitely aren't bad for poor and working class people. They have the core good ideas. The execution is just bad because it's all about conciliation, compromise. And when you're compromising with the ownership class, you're always giving up, when you compromise with the devil means surrender, essentially. So, and that's what it is. You're always, compromise with the rich man is, compromising with Nazis. You just can't do that. You don't compromise with them. You don't compromise with Nazis. You exterminate them. So, that's what you do when you're a union. You say, these are our terms, you accept them, or we continue striking. And that's it. You say, we lay the terms and you accept them, or they just don't work. It simply is that. And I mean, there is no negotiation. You just lay out the terms, and otherwise you don't have a business anymore. I mean, because they're gonna make money. I mean, it's like, the only problem with these people is they're like, oh no, I'm not gonna make as much money as, and then they point to another rich person. And it's like, I'm so sorry you're gonna lose in the dick measuring contest, but I like food, water, shelter, education. I like all the things that make, all the baseline things for a life. I am not arguing for my third luxury sports car. I'm arguing for a car and a place to live to raise my kids. Not a lake house to vacation in. Like, maybe when I retire, then I'll be able to get a cabin to vacation in or something. Yeah, that's my dream. After my kids have gone through college, all of these things, after everything that was necessary and has been achieved, I get something excellent. my wife and I, and blah, 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 and all these things. But, you know, and these dickwads just want to grab penny after penny on the dollar. You have to constantly claw it back from these fuckwads. Anyways, that's it. I'm gonna go watch something. This cools down a little bit more, and I hope I can sleep. Jeez. Just get 4 or 5 hours of sleep, and then I'll get another nap later on. There we go. Oops.